All right, so helping us break down today's arraignment, the former supporters turning on him now as they run against him. CBS13 political analyst Gary Dietrich joining us now. All right, so former President Trump in court, federal charges, criminal charges, leaves court, and then goes into a restaurant and starts campaigning with supporters. What do you make of that?
Well, and he's flying tonight. We just saw it, right? Yeah. He's going to be getting up, making a big speech, campaigning. There's fundraising emails. This sounds weird, guys, but this is starting to feel normal.
Right, life as usual.
I mean, what do I mean by that? I mean, we've been through this drill before. This, of course, may not be the last time. You know, remember, the investigation over January 6th and potential charges in that are still sitting in there. Same in Georgia. I mean, there's an odd sense in which, oh, well, this is just happening. I mean, though it's historic, right? There's a weird vibe to this of like, yeah, this is how the next year and a half is going to roll. And then, like you said, now you're starting to see some of the other Republican challengers beginning to take him on. This is going to take, I mean, the political machinations and twists and turns in this are going to be just as bizarre as some of the legal ones.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have a lot more to come in the months ahead. And as Curtis was saying, like you pointed out, that those who before were these big supporters, even besties, you know, as you'd seen before, now coming out against him. But we've been listening to these Republican presidential nominees. I really haven't heard any really use this case to just go after him.
Well, the only one we've had so far is Chris Christie. He's basically making his primary about that. But it's kind of surprising, those words from Nikki Haley today, former governor of South Carolina, who's ramping up the attacks as well. Keep in mind, they are getting the news just like we are. In other words, you know, this indictment, they didn't have any of that information beforehand. So some of their change in tone and in content is that. You know, some of this is new to them. And as it comes out and as it seems more substantial than things might have in the past, you know, let's just say, you know, they're making political hay out of it.
All right, so going straight from court to the campaign trail, if you were his campaign manager, what would you tell him?
Well, I'll tell you, if you just look at the numbers, right, if we just see what happened after what the legal stuff we went through in New York, his poll numbers bumped up, right? His supporters liked, I mean, the fact that he was coming out strong, saying that the DOJ had been weaponized, et cetera, et cetera. So far, guys, this is the thing. If you're his campaign people, so far, these things haven't hurt him, at least with the base. Like, they're going to be watching this very carefully, as are his detractors, to see, does that translate into next year, especially when he's got to start running after the primary in a general election with people who aren't necessarily his base. That is going to be the telling sign.
Well, he's a master marketer. We knew we would have the cameras there and everything today to cover the court hearing, but if anybody could turn something around from a negative into a positive, it's Donald Trump.
And it's a year and a half. I mean, we like to say a day is a year in politics. We have a year and a half to November 24. So much can happen between now and then.
So we call it bizarre, but honestly, in this case, I don't know if it's really become
bizarre
anymore.
It is. Could it be the new normal? It might be.
Maybe. Thank you, Gary.